Hello everyone, Rajshri here from mohanaastrology. Today I'm going to discuss about stationary planets and how their energies are manifested in our lives. If you have stationary planet in your natal chart, do watch this video. If you want to know how it can impact you through transit, then also do watch this video. September is a month when three planets, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, are changing their directions. Now, before changing their directions, they seem to have stopped for some days in this month, and this is called the stationary phase or stambit or bikala phase. This phase can last for a few hours like in Mercury, or it can last for a few days as well like in Saturn and in Jupiter. There are two kinds of stationary planets or rather stationary phases. One is when the planet goes retrograde. Before that, it stops for a while, and then the energy gets internalized during retrogression. And the second one is when the planet is going direct after the retrogression. And then what happens during this stationary phase, the planet is actually gearing up to manifest its all internalized energy to its fullest extent when it goes direct. I had written a post on this same subject in the Facebook page of mohanaastrology a couple of months ago. If you wish, you can read there as well. And please do subscribe to my channel, like this video, put your comments. And if you want a consultation from me, you can reach me at mohanaastrology@gmail.com. I always check if a planet is stationary in my client's chart. Now, why do I do that? It has been found that many a times a chart is promising a lot of good, a lot of positivity, but none of those are getting manifested in the native's life. Now, when I check the speed of the planet, particularly for Jupiter or for Saturn, I find that sometimes these planets are stationary in the chart or are very close to being stationary in the chart. A stationary state is a very powerful state of a planet. It so happens that when the planet is stationing in a particular place at a particular degree, in a particular house of your birth chart, it is kind of focusing all its energy on that particular house, in that particular Rashi. And all the activities, all the significations related to that particular planet and house gets impacted in your life. And those energies then become predominant for you, no matter whatever ascendant you have, no matter whatever other planets are promising in your chart. Normally, a stationary planet denotes kind of halt in the activities related to the house where they are posited. It denotes a lot of frustration and it denotes a lot of struggle and stagnancy related to those areas. Let's take an example to understand this. Say I take the Kalpurush chart, which is where the ascendant is Aries, and let's say, for example, Saturn is placed in the second house of this chart and it is stationary. So what happens here, the areas that Saturn controls, like where it is posited, that is the second house, and where it is aspecting, the significations and activities related to those houses as well, namely the family, the savings, your peace of mind, home atmosphere, then inheritance, and then married life, social network, everything gets adversely affected. Everything is put under severe testing throughout your life. These areas will require serious introspection, and you cannot really escape from the impact of these. It is said that when a soul prays really hard to the Almighty for its release from this karmic cycle, He blesses this soul in one of its incarnations or births to have this stationary Saturn, so that all the karma that is pending and that is due to be mitigated can actually be mitigated in this lifetime, so that the soul can now cleanse itself and can go for salvation going forward. If Saturn is Yoga Karaka for you, that means if you have Taurus or Libra ascendant, then Saturn is good for you. So a stationary Saturn here can actually give you more perseverance and stability in your life as well. Similarly, stationary Jupiter hinders the materialistic growth, the financial aspect of one's life, and the feeling of optimism, the feeling of well-being in general in one's life. But at the same time, this enhances your spirituality, it enhances your philosophical attitude, and by putting you through severe testing, by putting you through several ups and downs related to the materialistic part of Jupiter, it actually evolves your soul to pursue the spiritual path. It evolves the person towards spiritual life, towards divine knowledge, and towards divinity itself. When Mars is stagnant or Mars is stationary in your birth chart, then all the Martian energy, the aggression, that anger, the passion, everything is very targeted on the house where it is stationing. So what happens, and this energy cannot actually be expressed outwardly. So there is a simmering, bottled up aggression in one's character if you are having Mars stationing in your birth chart. It becomes very difficult to channelize this energy in a very safe and sound manner. So it is very important that you engage yourself. If you are having Mars stationary in your birth chart, you engage yourself in some activity or profession where aggression is required, like in being in the military, or in some sort of combative games, or physical sports, etc. Now, when a planet becomes stationary in transit, how does that affect our life? Now, the people who are already born with stationary planets in their chart, they get majorly impacted. They get more impacted than the other people who are not having it in the chart. And this kind of transit stationary energy effects on a much larger scale. So it exerts its energy on a larger scale, rather globally. Say for example, when Mars becomes stationary, there will be a rise in latent aggression. There can be a rise in protests. There can be some kind of natural disasters, particularly related to fire, volcanic activities. And it can also happen that there can be some unrest or bloodshed. Similarly, when Jupiter is stationary, it impacts the financial status globally. It impacts the general well-being and optimism in people overall. And when Saturn gets stationary, it impacts the mass justice. Somehow it brings out the issues that is related to mass justice. and it also helps to deliver the results related to these things. So all right everyone, this was a small short video on stationary planets, and try to utilize September, since a lot of planets, 3 planets are going stationary or becoming stationary in this month. So try to understand this energy, try to channelize this energy and harness that in your lives. It's best, always best to do some spiritual practices. It's best to do meditation during this time. It actually helps a lot to calm down the mind, and helps to understand your energy that you're supposed to manifest in this life. So best of luck all of you, and this is it from my side this time. And as I always say, may God bless us all, and please do subscribe and like my channel and share this. Thank you so much.